So my question for you is, what rewarding things did you get up to today where you feel like you accomplished something? You got, maybe it was getting the garden weeded. I don't know. Maybe it was in some places getting snow plowed. What rewarding things did you do today? Maybe you baked something that you've been wanting to bake for a while and you finally had the time to do that. So what did you do today that was rewarding for yourself and yourself? I went house hunting today. We had 7 appointments lined up for this morning. Yes, 7. And for those of you who've been house hunting, you know how exhausting that can be. It was almost 80 degrees when I left this morning. I had to be at the first house by 8 o'clock, and it was an hour. It was about an hour from where I am right now. So I figured, okay, that's at 8 o'clock, which means I have to leave here by 7 to make sure I get there on time. I want to stop by the market to pick up some water and some snacks. So I need to be out of here by 6:30. 6:31, I pulled out of my driveway. Yay. Yes. And got to the supermarket and I thought, okay, looked at my watch and thought, right, I got 15 minutes. I was out in 10. I had a mission and I had never been inside the supermarket before, which was it's kind of scary when you give yourself 15 minutes to get in and out of a supermarket and you've never been inside that supermarket before. But I did it. I knew exactly what snacks I wanted. I knew whereabouts in the supermarket what areas of the supermarket they would be, but I just had to find those areas. The longest one that took me was to get the water because they had beverages and stuff over here. And then you went past all the frozen section and then there was the water way down over there. But I was in and out in 10 minutes. So I was like, that's brilliant. We're doing good. And so I got everything into the car, got the stuff into the cooler to keep it cool. Then got on the road again, started driving, and about 17 minutes later, I was like, oh, I forgot to let Ashley know I was on my way. So I looked what the GPS said and sent her a text and pulled over to the side of the road and sent her a text message that said, forgot to leave you, forgot to tell you when I left. I'll be there. I think it was 30, maybe it was either 30 or 20 minutes. So I'll see you there. And so I got to the first house. We were a little 10 minutes early. So yes, love it when a plan comes together. I just had really good feelings about today. When I woke up this morning, I just had really, really good feelings about it. Everything was going smoothly, beautifully. So I went to the first house, nice place. And it was 3 bedrooms, had a nice backyard, nice layout. It had a 3-car garage, and there was a single car on one side and tandem on the other side. And for tandem garages, it means one car parks behind the other car. It was nice. Didn't get any good vibes about it, but didn't get any bad vibes. It was just a house. Nothing weird about that. So then we went on to the next one, and this one was really cool. The coolest feature of this, it was a beautiful layout, kind of similar to the first layout that we had seen. They were both in the same area. They're about a 5-minute drive apart within the same community. And but what was really cool is that there were similar layouts, but this one had a little more of a wow factor than the previous one did. But what was really cool is that it had a built-in kennel inside the house for their dog. And their dog was out in the backyard, and it was this gorgeous husky with these beautiful blue eyes. Liked the house, and so that went on the possible list. We had the maybe list, maybe list. Then we had the no list, and then we had the possible list. And the possible list is where we choose which one we're going to go after. So that one went on the possible list. Nice house. So from there, we then went, I think that was when we went to the builders. Yeah, we went and saw the first building company of the day. We had 2 new builds lined up, and we got there. And when we got in there, the woman came out and met us because Ashley had a time set up with a person there, had an appointment with the person. And so we set up the time with her. We sat there, we talked about the houses and stuff. And I said, yeah. And so that was our restroom area. That was our restroom break. We decided we weren't going to go chasing down food places and service stations like we did last time. We thought we'll go to the when we get to the new builds, bathroom break time. Which gave Ashley a little time to talk with the person to let her know more about what it was I was after and things like that. And then and she was able to talk with me one-on-one about what I was wanting to see if we were in alignment with. Of course we were. And then she took us on a tour. We went to their very first one. And I'm standing there, and I'd done a walkthrough. It was very nice, but it felt small. And so I'm standing there in what would be their family room area, and I'm like looking, and I'm thinking back to when we were choosing screens for our movie theater back in Virginia years ago. And one of the things we learned was that you take the diagonal measurement of the screen for rear projection, and your viewing distance is twice that from the screen. So if you have a 60-inch TV, a 60-inch across the diagonal, your minimum view thing is 120 inches, which is 10 feet. And so I'm standing there and I'm like, yeah, TV there, couch would have to go here. Where do I put and that's a 3-seater couch. Where do I put the 2-seater couch? There's no room. One, there was no room for the 2-seater couch, and 2, the 3-seater couch wasn't back far enough to get my 10-foot in just for a 60-inch screen. So yes, so this is on the small side. I'm not going to fit in this house. And they had small bedrooms. They were like 9 by 9. So we went and saw, and so that one was a house that had just closed. They had just sold that house and getting ready to, and so they were doing like the punch list and that sort of stuff on it. There was blue tape everywhere, and and I felt like going with a roll of blue tape and putting it on other stuff that I had seen. Maybe I will carry that around next time. I don't know. And then they went and took us and showed us the next size up, which I liked the layout of that, a little more space. And but I also knew they had a third one, and the third one was in framing. So the second one we went and saw, they actually had the AC on in that house, so it was nice and cool and that sort of thing. Liked the layout of that one. Went and had a look at the biggest single-story model there, and it was in frame only. And I love looking at houses in frame. I love walking through model homes, and I love walking through frame houses in frame. And it was kind of cool because I had seen the floor plan, so I knew where everything was, where everything went, and so I was able to walk through and get more of an idea and get a feel for the space. And they had this little nook there, which is where you would set up your AV system with the TV, places for the receiver, for the Blu-ray player. I could put my speakers on either side, and then I would have to wire through the ceiling and stuff to put the speaker, to mount the back speakers, and there was a place there for the woofer to go, and I had my central speaker. Yep, where we go. That was a beautiful setup, but their price point on that one was a little on the high side. And so from there, where did we go from there? We went to so when she was printing out the stuff, one of the houses, because we actually had 8 appointments set up, but yesterday one of the houses got sold, so we didn't do that one. So then we went to the next house. We got there was another realtor going through, showing their people through, and she said, we had a 10 o'clock appointment time. And they go, well, so did we. Well, we had a 10 o'clock appointment time. And I'm like thinking, yeah, right. But whatever. We let them finish their tour through, and he says, oh, we're almost done. So, and then we went and had a look, and everything was going fine until we got into the main bedroom, and I went, nope. And she's like, what do you mean no? I says, this is not the house. She's like, what's the matter? And I said, that big sliding door right there on that wall in the master bedroom, absolutely not. No way. And even though they had 2 sliding doors in the house, one went off the master bedroom, one went off the family room, both went into the same covered patio. And I was like, no, we do not want a sliding door off a master bedroom on ground floor that goes straight out. I said, not good for energy flow and all that sort of stuff, but also for safety factor too. So I don't like having doors that people get in the bedroom. So that was a no. We went to the next one. The next one was funny. So we pull up for the next one, and there was this what was it? Some sort of, it was a Jeep. It was one of those Jeeps that had like the tray pairs in the back. And I looked at the license plate and I thought, that belongs to a real estate agent. You could tell by the license plate. And so he's sitting there and he's got the engine running and all that. And then and Ash had parked, I had parked, and so we're getting out of cars, we're walking up the thing. She goes over to get the keys. She's walking around the front of the house, and this guy had actually like parked his Jeep, because he was kind of on a weird angle anyway. So he'd actually parked his Jeep in front of the house, and turned out he was the real estate agent waiting for his clients to show up. We figured that one out. But as Ash is unlocking the door, her phone dings and she looks down and she says, "Oh, we have a cancelled appointment." And I said, "We have a cancelled? What? Where are we cancelling?" And she says, "Where are we canceling?" She says, "This house." I go, "What? We here. We're unlocking the door. We had the doors open. And just as we're about to step in, it goes ding. And she said, the house just sold. And I went, oh, wonder if that's who's just pulled up out front then with the real estate agent. And she's still like, I don't know. She says, you still want to go? And I said, sure, why not? But the house would have been a no anyway for us. It was tile. The whole bottom floor was tile. The master bedroom was downstairs, which was fine. It was actually a 2-story. Had a great loft area upstairs, which would have made a great movie room. And it was just, and there was a lot of chipped tiles all over the place that I could see us having problems with. So it was a no. And then the next one we were supposed to go see was the one that was cancelled. So we then had a house after that. So we've done our 10:30, which was the 2-story. And then we had the one that was cancelled at 11. So at 11:30, we had another place. So she had moved the appointment from the 11:31 up to 11. So we went around to that place. And that was another 2-story. And all the bedrooms were upstairs. Good-sized bedrooms. Great loft area up there. One of the bedrooms would have worked well for a craft room. The loft area would have worked well for the for an office, or the craft room and the office and the bedroom. Either way, it was all upstairs, all carpeted. And then downstairs they had like a living room area, a family room area. And so it was like, well, the table wouldn't fit in here if you're doing this. And it was just like, no, it just didn't have that right vibe. It was a no. Plus there was a lot of stuff that needed to be done to the place as well. Just a lot of cosmetic stuff. And dings here and scrapes there and that sort of thing. But it was just like, yeah, no. When you know. So then we went over to the second builders of the day, and when we got there, the directions told us to go off this way, and all you could see was empty land. But there was a giant flagpole with a US flag on flying off in the distance, and that's the direction that the GPS was taking us. And so we're outside the one that was obviously the sales office with model homes and stuff. And so we decided, well, let's follow the GPS, see where it takes us. So it takes us to this house. This house is sitting there in the middle of nowhere. And it looked like the garage had been converted to a sales office, because if you've ever been through most model homes and stuff, you know that you go in through the garage, you go in through one door in the garage and come out. This one just had the single door to go in and out. And so the garage was set up as a sales office, but there was nobody there. There was no cars to be seen. The place looked empty. It looked deserted. And so we went back over to the other sales office to find out what the story was with this one. And again, asked if we could use their restroom. They told us which bathroom in the model home that we could use. And the model home was gorgeous. Mind you, model homes are gorgeous. You go through them and it's Ashley was sort of like, she said, wouldn't it be really cool just to come in here and just leave? She said, I wonder if you could just say, leave everything. I said, yeah, I know people have done that, where they have gone to the sales office and go, I like the house exactly as it is. Just hand me the keys. Tell me how much for the house as is, with all the furnishings, the decor, the soft furnishings, everything, exactly how you have it set up. Don't even change the sales office back to the garage. Just basically they wanted them to pick up their paperwork and walk out the door and leave them the keys. And I know somebody who did that with a model home, and they came to an agreed upon price. He bought the house, and they basically packed up their office supplies and their paperwork and left. So yes, you can do that with model homes. So just keep that in mind. Most of them come to an agreed price and get all the furniture and everything. There was a beautiful model, and it had a very comfy couch on it. I sat down and tried it. It just had that. The couch was just going, come and try me, come sit down, rest a moment. And I sat down, and my body, I felt all the stress just as soon as I sat down, and I just didn't really lean back, but I just felt all the stress and everything just flow. You could feel it flowing out of the body as I just went, this is nice. And it was very comfortable. I said to Ashley, come to Ashley. She says, no. She said, I'm not sitting down. She says, if I sit down, I'm not getting back up. So we found out the story with the other place. And so we went back there, and there was a whole 10 to 15 minutes it took us to get into the house. There was a QR she had to scan. Then she had to enter in the house ID. Then she had to download the app, then fill in or log in, and then log into create a profile on the app, including a scan of her driver's license. And And then there were instructions on how to light up the keypad and the code to put in there. And it was probably about a 10, 15-minute thing. And we finally got in this house and we're walking down. We're having a look at the bedrooms as we go down the way. We get to the end of the hall and went, wow, it was amazing. There was a dining area off the side, kitchen there, great room over there. It was this one huge open space. It was a wow factor. And then great, the kitchen, great layout of the kitchen, beautiful granite counters, big peninsula piece that came out. So they had a refrigerator, a counter area, walk-in pantry, another counter area, the cooker, and then they had this great big long peninsula that came out and was very wide. And I was just sort of like, oh. And then they had this big area, and then of course they had the little niche nook over there that I knew my table would fit in, simply because they had a table the same size as my table sitting there, and it had a ton of space around it. And I was like, wow. And then they had the great room area set up to watch the TV, and then beyond that, off that great room was the master suite, and that was another wow thing as well. And they had a king bed in there. There was plenty of room in there. Went in, they had the double vanity with the toilet, and then a walk-in shower. And then I walked into the closet and went, wow, it was huge. It was a huge closet for the size house it was. And I said to Ash at one point, I said, look, we could even take the door off, and then you get one of those round tufted Ottoman stool thingy-mabobs and put it right here for when you're getting dressed. And then when I was on the chat with my mum and dad explaining to this room, I said, I would even put, because it's so big and there's so much space in there, I would even put like a chest of drawers there that would have all the stuff that I don't hang up. And that way I wouldn't be getting some stuff out of the closet and then going into the bedroom to get stuff out of the drawers in there, or getting stuff from the drawers and bringing it into the closet so that I could get dressed after I get out of the shower and that sort of thing. And my dad says, well, the problem with taking the door off is that you'll get all that steam in the clothes. And I go, yeah. I said, it would take all the creases out of the clothes. He goes, but they'll get moldy. I went, no. So I said, I'll put a dresser in there for all the stuff that you put into drawers, so I don't have to get partially dressed or take clothes from here into the bedroom to then get dressed, because that's where the drawers are. And Mum said, well, that's a really good idea. I'm like, yeah, I like that idea. So, so, and then I had this big covered patio area, and Ashley had been talking to the woman, and she says, what you see in the house is basically how it comes, as far as the flooring goes, the color on the walls, the granite counters, the kitchen layout. It only comes with the stove, the oven, the microwave, oven and microwave, and dishwasher. You have to provide your own. You have to provide your own refrigerator, your own washer and dryer. And I thought, well, that's not a big deal. It was a 4-bedroom house. And so we sat there. So we sat down afterwards and we're just chit-chatting about this house, because there was nobody coming in. So we thought, well, we've got a comfy couch. Let's sit down. Let's have a chat. Let's talk about what we've seen, what we haven't seen, what the preferences are. So we're down to 3. The one we saw last night, the second one we saw today with the built-in dog kennel, and the one that we were sitting in at the time. And so there are questions about the 3 of them, and they're all roughly around the same price point and all roughly about the same size. They go from 1,600 to 1,800 square feet. The place that we were in last was just over 1,800 square feet, and it felt so much bigger than 1,800 square feet. I said, this place, I'm sitting there, and I said, do you remember what size this house was? She says, no, they didn't tell me that information. I said, it kind of feels like it's around 2,000 square feet, maybe more. So I was surprised when it came back at just over 18,000 square feet. And but that was the last place we got to see. And then after that, I drove home. I got home around 2 o'clock, just before 2, filled out all the paperwork that needed for the financing stuff and all of that. And Ashley's already sent me the comps for the 2 existing houses, already sent me the comps for the area and that. She's finding out more information about the new build, to like, do you have one that's underway that needs to be sold? When, how soon can you get one up and have it move-in ready and that sort of thing. So that's what we're waiting on right now. But this model home we went to see, it's a new concept of, you scan the QR code, you download the app, you register through the app, you do to get into the place, go look around and all of that sort of stuff. And there's no salesperson on site for that one. It was just it was a little strange, but it actually gave us as much time as we wanted to have a look around in this place, unless somebody else came to the door. And we were able to sit there afterwards and just talk through the different options. So got home around 2, did all the paperwork that needs to be done for the financing stuff. And then I was sort of like, I'm exhausted. I'm going to go take a nap. So I sent a text message to my parents, like, no, I'm home. I've just finished all the paperwork. I'm going to go take a nap. And I'm having this nice nap, and then my phone dings that I got a message coming up. I'm just going to leave it till later and go back to sleep. And then 5 minutes later, it dings again. And I'm like, really? And so I have a look at it as my mum and dad to say, hey, we decided not to go out for lunch after church. We brought lunch home with us, so we're ready to get on whenever you are. And I'm like, 26 seconds left on my nap time. Okay, so give me 2 minutes. So, and that was just before 6 o'clock. So got online with them, walked them through the houses, the two that we like, the two that I like that we saw today. It was a very exhausting day, a very rewarding day. We got to see a lot of good stuff today. Got some not so good stuff, but I have a feeling that one of the 3 houses we have is going to be one of the ones that we're going to be moving into. Which one will it be? I don't know. Like I said, they're all around the same price point. They're 1,600 to 1,800 square feet. One's in Surprise, 2 are in Buckeye. One was built in 25 years ago, one was 5 years old, and one hasn't been built yet. So that's the only thing is the location and the differences of when they were built. So we're having a look around. We know which the 3 preferences are. We've kind of ordered them. So any one of those 3 houses, I would be very happy in. Is there one that I want more than the other? Yeah. So Ashley knows me better than I do, because I sent her saying, this is my preference. She comes back and she says, well, I think your preference is actually this. And I looked and went, yeah, she's probably right. So we have the preferences. We know which houses, and I would be happy in any one of them. We've got the comps for the 2 that are already built. So we know that. We're just waiting on more information from the builder for the 3rd one, and waiting to hear back from the finance guy, and won't hear from him till Monday. And then we can start putting offers, find out what our limit's going to be, what we're qualified for, and then we can go and put offers in. So stay tuned. But it was a very rewarding but exhausting day. I mean, it was hot. I have gone through 4 liters of water. If you want to know how much that is, that's around 33 ounces per bottle. So I've gone through 4 33-ounce bottles today already, and I'm still feeling dehydrated. So I'm going to go mix me up some electrolyte stuff. I'm going to have a glass of coconut water. And then I might mix me up some electrolytes. But yeah, I went through 4 33-ounce bottles today. This is bottle number 5, and as you can see, there's not much left in the bottom there. There is about 12 ounces left, just over 12 ounces left in the bottom, I think. That's what that's. Oh no, that says 12 p.m. Hang on, I've got to go to the other side. There's measurements on here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, I got about 8 ounces left on this one. Yeah, this will be bottle number 5. And I still feel dehydrated. But one of the, I'm going to go rehydrate again and have some coconut water, have some electrolytes, and because 1, it's been a very hot, dry day, and 2, I've got 2 air conditionings going right now, and if you've never been in air conditioning in a dry environment, it just makes it even drier, and you've got to stay really hydrated. So I'm going to go hydrate some more and probably pull out some lotion and stuff and rub that on, because the skin's feeling very dry as well. But anyway, so that was my rewarding but exhausting day. So we're now down to 3 houses, and we just have to wait and find out, because I don't know which one I'm going to end up with. I will find out about the financing on Monday, what my options are going to be, and we'll take it from there. So we will keep you posted. I might not even tell you until I get a house. Maybe I won't. Anyway, I'm out of here. Go have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We'll catch you guys back here around 6 p.m. Pacific tomorrow evening. Hey, konera.